of those of my juniors are there in KIT, and they're aspiring for such kind of examination, or they're coming or appearing for this kind of interview. So with I just wanted to share my experiences that will benefit you whenever if you are appearing for that. So as I had feedback, as we had collected the responses through Google form, and we had received a very good number of responses in our this interview and body language portion. So as I had gone through over there, and I have found a lot of the questions are there which you people wanted to know. It would be better if we will have an interactive session. If you have to ask the question, you just raise your hand, and it would be better if you can on your if you can share your videos, and with the help of that, if you wish to ask the question, you can just raise your hand and we will pick up those questions. But before starting our interactive session, we will have a one presentation from Mr. Kumar Gaurav on the body language. So, what body language and body posture tells, and what the information you are conveying to the other person without speaking anything. So that is one of the major part which also comes under the interview portion. If once you are appearing for the interview, then your body language basically speaks a lot. Speaks a lot about your posture, about your thinking, about your kind of mental setup. So I would like to hand over to Kumar with his, and I request him to start his presentation on body language. And then after that, we will go for the interactive session.
Thank
Okay,
you, Yudhishthir.
Kumar.
Thank you so much for your generous and kind word. Before I start, is there anybody knows anything about body language? What exactly it is? Anybody wants to say something? है होता क्या है? क्या करना होता है? इसकी requirement क्या है? Anyone? Okay, ठीक है. So
So,
yeah, please say.
Yes.
Somebody was saying something. Okay. Basically, if you look to the condition, they say that if you divide the saying or the whatever the words you speak, they say that whatever you say shows the background of from where you are coming. How you say is shows the present condition of yours, the present nature or present environment in which you are being groomed, and body language suggests where you will be in the future. Okay, so body language, if you can say wrong also from your mouth, or maybe you can deny or you can lie from your words, but your body language will not be able to say the lies. So to understand the body language is a very good thing. I have made a little bit of small presentation, maybe it will help you to check what kind of body language signs are there, what are the gestures are there, and how you can be more open and more approachable to a person uh, whom you are getting presented to. So let me just go through that part, and then we will be able to understand more quickly. Okay, just give a minute. There are a lot of people coming up, so we are having a little trouble. I think there is some permission issues. Just give me a minute. Let me see how it can be done. No, I'm just
Lord,
trying
what
to
is the
say
issue?
some system preferences problem with the screen sharing. Just give me a minute. Do you have the?
Meanwhile, I would request everyone, whatever. Yes, I think so. Everyone is presenting.
Yeah, yeah. Please, please go
Yes,
ahead.
I have. I
Thanks a
can
lot.
present. Should I present? Okay. Okay. Just a minute. I'm. It is opening
Yeah,
as soon as it
thanks a
will
lot,
be open.
Yudhishthir.
I'm sharing. Hmm. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's coming.
Hmm.
Thanks. So,
So you can tell me. I can
yeah, yeah, I'll tell
keep
you,
on
then
rolling.
you can help me out in that. Thanks. Okay.
Yes.
So if you can see the body language and interview part, it body language is very much important in the interview because if a interviewer is there to judge you, he will be able to catch you whether you are telling the truth or not. So mostly the first thing is like how we gain confidence inside a interview panel or when you sit inside for the interview. And apart from that, how we present ourselves in the body language part. Okay, let's move to the one of the portions and we can understand. Le-
This screen is visible,
Yeah.
Kumar?
Okay. So basically, if let us understand the little concept of the body language, okay, that will help you out in showing a proper posture and the gesture of yours. Uh, there are certain what do you call postures which shows that whether you're open to ideas, open to understanding of the questions or not. Okay. So in that, it's a very simple. If you have seen the people who are in the boxing ring, they have either they close themselves or they open. Okay. So similarly, that's what the whole body language concept is all about. You have to make sure that your understanding of the concept should be is in such a way that you are able to have a open body language. Okay. What does that mean? That whenever you are seated, you have to be relaxed seated. You should not be in a closed position like folded legs or something like that. If you are folded legs and you are having a cross arm, that means that you are not ready to listen or not ready to understand what the other person is saying. Yudhishthir, can you move on the next slide, please? Okay. Like say if this is defending or blocking kind of body language shows. Let's say a person is interviewing you and you are like closing your arms and sitting there. So either you must be feeling cold at that particular time, maybe because of the air conditioning, or maybe you really don't want to listen to what he's saying, or you are not able to grasp it. Okay, so that's why you want to cocoon yourself inside your own environment, small environment which you are there. Okay, so these type of positions when somebody in the interview panel is asking question is this way, uh, not admissible, not required. If you put that kind of posture, then it is like it is taken into a negative way. Okay. Similarly, the eye contact. If your eye contact is not there at the time when you are when a person is, let's say for example, if somebody is asking question to you and you are not making an eye contact to him and nodding your head, that shows that you are distracted, or you are like some other position, you are in some other thought, you know. So that will not really help, or the person will think that you are not in a position to understand what exactly he's saying or what he's trying to tell you. Okay, can you move to the next slide, Yudhishthir? Okay. So whenever
Yes.
there is a
Correct.
eye contact, na, so that
Hmm.
shows that
Hmm.
the person is speaking the truth. Okay. If you see the, let's say if you are talking and in if you are talking and you are not talking, let's say three people are there in the panel and they are trying to, one person has asked you a question. Definitely when he's asking a question, you're going to look to him, but try to have a eye to eye contact with the person. Okay. When you have an eye to eye contact with that person, along with that, if you start nodding your head like this, that means you're really understanding the question what he is saying. And with this small gesture, your thought process will also align as per what your body is trying to tell you. But in the meanwhile, when you are answering the that particular question which has been asked by one of the panelists in the interview, and उस वक्त अगर आप सिर्फ उसी से आई कांटेक्ट नहीं रखना है, you know, it let's say there are three people or four people in the panel, and you are the person who is gone there to face that interview. So if one person has asked question, that does not mean that you are answering to that particular person only. Okay, you have to get a contact of the eye of all the three persons or the four person who are there. Okay, the pitch variation is very important. The pitch variation in the sense that you should not be a monotonous syllable which has to be there showing that giving a particular answer. You know, your answer should be admissible and acceptable to all the parties who are in the panel, whether they are understanding your particular subject or not. Maybe HR guy will not understand the technicality part of it. Okay, and a technical question has been shooted to you, so that doesn't mean that you are not going to make an eye contact with the HR person or a other person who is there on the panel, and you are just answering to the person who is there in the technical field. Okay, so the rule of thumb is when a person is asking you a question, you have to be in contact with his eyes. Eyes means directly in his eyes, and then you have to, if you understand the question, then you have to nod a head like this, the way I'm doing, because certain people have the tendency to nod the head like this. Okay, उनके लिए यही yes का मायने होता है, but this is very confusing. You know, if you shouldn't nod the head like this to give you a yes sign. Nodding head like this only makes a yes sign, and this is no. But certain times in South, if you go, people say like this as a yes. Okay, but in a proper professional terms, if you talk it, then like nodding like this will give you a yes tone or understanding what exactly is being told to you. Okay, Yudhishthir, can you go to the next slide, please?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, just change the
Is it
slide.
visible now?
Thanks. Okay, now coming to the zone, this is also a concept which is
Yeah.
very powerful concept in the field of body language, which is called zones. Have you seen people standing in the lift together? Have you seen anybody talking if they don't know each other? लिफ्ट के अंदर स्पेस नहीं रहता, राइट? बट वहां पे स्पेस नहीं रहता, everybody is getting into the zones of other person. No, that's a personal zone. 0 to 2 feet from your body to 2 feet, you think that the person who is very intimate to you, your parents, your maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend or whosoever is there who are very intimate to you, will be only getting into that particular zone. You will not allow anybody and everybody to go into the zone. Okay, so that personal space or the zones which is there for every individual has to be always taken care of. It has to be always be respected. So do not, these are the zonal distance which has been already researched, and I'm just sharing a little bit of concept of these parts so that then I'll explain you how it will is applicable in your field in the interview, how it comes out to be. Where it comes in the part is, let's say for example, if you are sitting on the other side of the desk and there are three people sitting on the other side of the desk who are taking your interview, and they ask you to show you certain files or maybe your credentials or maybe anything. you should not pass the half line of the, let's say if the table is around 4 feet by 2 feet. So you should not go and just give all the documents and pass the half line of the table. Do not interfere in anybody's zone, and that is very very important. Okay. Similarly, so that is why, since in the lift you can see that since there are so many people in the lift, you will see no one interacts with each other because they feel uneasy with the other people intruding into their zones, comfort zones. Okay, that's how the things are defined. Okay, so always take into consideration about that. And also, if a desk is there between you and the panelist, make sure that you are not going and leaning towards the desk. Always have some around a feet distant or something from the desk. This will give you also a confidence when you are talking, because your condition, when you will be comfortable in your zone, then only you will be able to tell other people how you're comfortable with. Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? Sorry. Okay. So mirroring part. This is also a very
Okay.
powerful concept of body language to gain attention. Certain times what happens that when you are a part of when you are going and setting an interview, you will find that one person is taking interest in you, other person is not taking interest in you. Then how will you start, gaining interest of the other person? The way to do it is like, you start mirroring the other person. If you see, everybody loves the way they perform. That's how the human psychology works. So if you start mirroring yourself, the way the other person is sitting, the way, not exactly sitting part, but the upper portion of the body, the way they are behaving. So if they are nodding the head right, then you should not be nodding the, if they are bending their head to the left, you should not start bending their head to the right. That's not mirroring. If they are bending the head to the left, try to, gain the same posture by with the individual attention seeker position. This is called, that whenever you are mirroring someone, the person will automatically start taking interest you because he sees a reflection of himself or herself in you. Okay, so this is a very powerful tool to gain attention of a person who is not paying attention in the time of interview or when you're sitting in the panel or something like that. This all comes when you start practicing towards it. When you're sitting in some let's say for example, yeah, can you just go to the previous slide, one more slide back, yeah, this one. Okay, no, the other one, next one.
Next one.
Yeah, yeah, this one. Okay, so if you can see here, the interview is being happening. If you see that the whosoever is in the interviewee or interviewer, they are not, slouching on the desk, and they're also not moving, bending to the desk and then interfering into the zone of the other person. I will not advise you to put hands on the desk, but this is one of the positions I'm trying to tell you about, a mirroring part. Okay, so that the way the person is, if you can see the legs of the other person, try to do not imitate the same portion of the legs in that portion. But yeah, if you start mirroring the image of the other person with whom you are talking, then it will be a better way of gaining attention of the interviewers. Okay, Industry, can you move to the next slide, please?
Just a minute. Yes, please.
Okay, so this is a major thing, the
Done?
posture. If you see, when you, first of all, when you go into an interview panel, you will find it out that आधे टाइम तो पहले ही डर लगा रहता है कि भाई पता नहीं बंदा क्या क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, कैसे होगा इंटरव्यू, whether I'll be able to crack it or not. And so with that fear and that struggle which you all have done it, वहां पे पहुंच के इंसान पहले ही आधी बातें जो याद रहती है वो भूल जाता है. Okay, so first of all, how your body will give you confidence. Okay, so major thing is first how you sit on the chair. That is very very important. And the best part is the way you sit it, sit on the chair will define the way you will be able to conduct or maybe perform in the in the interview. Okay, so this couple of postures which is very required, very much required is first of all sit straight, don't slouch. Okay, the other thing which will give you good confidence, a good confidence among yourself is first of all when you get a support of something. Okay, now since you are in the interview panel, is you're facing an interview panel, you're in the room and you're all alone, the one thing which can support you is the chair itself. Take a support of that. And how you get it? If you sit on the chair, you should be putting your leg, touching one of the legs of the chair. If you do that, you will find that you are having a support of the chair, and that will definitely helps out. Try at home also. If you find that you're sitting on any particular chair, if you're a little uncomfortable or anything is there, try to parallel your leg with the and touch it with the leg of the chair. And if you are sitting like that, then it will definitely give you a confidence. It will give you a support basically. And once you have a support of anything, this will help you out. Okay, if armrest is available, use it. If it is not there, then put your hands on your thighs. Don't just swing your hands in around and think where should I put my hand, because at that time if you are thinking that where should I put my hands, uh, गोद में रखूं या थाइस पे रखूं या पीछे बैक की तरफ फोल्ड करूं, तो उसमें कंफ्यूजन में आदमी मारा जाता है. you know First thing, once you sit, make sure that if you are a right-handed person, your right leg should be touching the right leg, forward leg of the chair, and then it should be going parallel to the chair. And you will find that you have a something which is supporting you. That's the benefit of it. Okay, so this posture is very important when you're sitting, when you're going for an interview. That will really help it out. Try it sometime at home also or in your hostel, and you will find it out that how it is helpful to you. Okay, can we move to the next slide, please? Yudhishthir? Okay, so this is ex- I mean, definitely a no situation. Do not slouch on the chair. Do not or never ever slouch on the chair. ये ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप बैठे हैं और पता चला धीरे धीरे आप खिसक खिसक के आगे जा रहे हैं, या बैठने में भी your backbone is not straight and you're sitting like on a sofa or armchair. It shouldn't be there. That really will create a problem and a bad impression of yours in the eyes of the interview panelist. Okay, can you move to the next slide, please? Okay. So now I'll tell you these are the the basic concept of the body language part. But now I'll come to the gestures part. Gestures part. Now, how does it helps you out? It helps you out first of all to gain attention. What you need in life at the time when you're facing an interview is your attention. Your attention should be sought by everybody. Everyone who is there in the panel should know that you are there. If they don't understand that you are there, then they will not respect you, they will not acknowledge you, and they will not select you. Main thing is that how you will present yourself, whether you know the technical subject or not, whether you know the answers or not, that's immaterial of the point. But first of all, पहले उन लोग को पता होना चाहिए कि हाँ ये बंदा यहाँ बैठा हुआ है. At certain times क्या होता है कि your number is 25th in the series for the interview. 20 तक आते आते पैनलिस्ट कहते हैं यार बहुत हो गया इंटरव्यू, अब उतना नहीं है, आप ही करके देख लो. So if the other person is not taking much interest in you, how will you make sure that the other person is giving you full attention? And for that, the gestures come in play. All these gestures which I'm going to tell you is a soft gestures. बहुत loud gestures नहीं बनाने हैं, ठीक है? But ये जो gestures आप दोगे या बना के दिखाओगे, it will really help you out to carve your place in the minds of the interview panelists. Okay? So first is open palm. Open palm is a very powerful gesture. Whenever you are there, definitely if you, so that's why I'm saying कि you should not be sitting very close to the desk. Have some space. इतना स्पेस हो कि आप अपना हाथ ऊपर लेके जा सको. ओके। अगर आप डेस्क से बहुत सट के बैठोगे फॉर द इंटरव्यू पैनलिस्ट, तो आप अपना हाथ भी ऊपर लेके नहीं जा पाओगे। Okay, so have some itna space rakho where you can show your palms when you are explaining a particular question, or you are giving a technicality, or you're briefing them out about yourself or anything. Okay, so open palm gesture is also a very powerful way to, because when you start moving anything in front of anybody, if you are like sitting like a standstill person, then the person you may not be able to notice by the panelist. But if you wave something, a video is more powerful tool compared to a picture. Okay, because something is moving, and if anything is moving little bit, it will definitely grab attention to a person who is watching it, or who on whose eyes frame it is coming up. Okay, so open palm is one of the very powerful tool to seek attention from the other person. Can we move to the next slide? You listed. Okay. At certain times, you will find it out that they will ask you to give a board presentation. Okay, let's say if you are being asked to, okay, fine, please go on the board and make a diagram or explain it there. How will you do that? Main thing, if you go, first of all, if you're not confident enough to present yourself on the board, you will, if you have the technical knowledge of it, you will go there and you will make the diagram, maybe you can explain it. But whether it has grabbed the attention of the person or not, never ever stand near the board and just explain everything. Okay, you have to start yourself moving in and out from the board side. Okay, or not much, but at least 2 3 step ahead, 2 3 step back. This will definitely start gaining attention of yours again in the board presentation. And there are certain times in the, I mean, when I was giving my interview, when I passed out in from KIT, at that time there are a couple of companies who asked me to give some kind of board presentation. So there the main thing was whether you're moving or not. If you are giving a classroom presentation also, don't stand near the board. You just move around in on the podium, or maybe in the aisle. You will find it out that your presentation, or maybe you'll start seeking attention of the person who is seeing your presentation at that time. Okay, so don't be standstill, don't be a picture, always be a moving person in life. Then only you will have an attention. Main thing of body language or the person is whether they are having their these people are getting your attention or not. Okay, can I move to the other slide, please? Is it? Okay. Okay, so there are these are the couple of gestures, sorry, which are very powerful, and which I have already told to you. One is open and moving palms. Okay, so just it's very simple. I can also show you. You can have might have noticed to most of the people who are very much who have a good oratory skills. They don't have hands which are like just holding to the podium. Look at to most of the leaders, world renowned leaders, not only the Indian leaders I'm talking about. Okay, so look at those leaders. Their palms will always be moving. Their hands will always be giving some kind of gestures. Head nods. Head nods is very powerful. Whether you understand the question or not. Okay, let's say if one of the panelists asks you a question and you don't understand the question, or maybe you need some time to think for the answer. But when he is giving you, when he is telling you, asking you a question rather, then at that time you keep on nodding and bend your neck on one side, just like you are trying to understand, and or rather you are understanding the whole concept of the question. Okay, and if at that moment of time you think that you are not ready to give an answer, you need some more time in your mind to give an answer, then you can say, pardon sir, but would you like to, can you please explain the question in any other particular word? You know, it's very important, because if you are like, just be stand still and thinking like this, वो बंदा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, you will not be able to understand कि वो लगेगा ये किससे मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, ये कोई इंसान है या बुत है या कौन है, you know. सो मूवमेंट इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड, बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप चेयर से उठ के एक मेरी गो राउंड करके और बैठ जाओ दोबारा, वो भी जरूरत नहीं है करने की, ठीक है। सो दैट्स द योर जेस्चर्स शुड बी स्लो एंड जेंटल मूवमेंट, डोंट शो एनी काइंड ऑफ अग्रेशन, ऑफ कोर्स यू विल नॉट शो, पहले ही इंटरव्यू पैनल्स में एग्रेशन तो निकली जाती है, but it aggression will come where your gestures from your body space is moving to your arm length, you know। मैं हैंड्स मूवमेंट की बात कर रहा हूँ, बट हैंड्स मूवमेंट सिर्फ इतनी दूर में होनी चाहिए, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो उठ के फिर इट्स लाइक यू आर वेविंग योर हैंड in the whole movement. It shouldn't go very far, because then it will come into the zones, and then zones will create a problem, because then they will say that you're trying to intrude in their zones. Okay, so please make sure that your gestures in terms your nodding of head to understand a question, eye contact, and when you are answering the questions should have some kind of slight movement with your leg, stand still, attached to one of the legs of your chair, because that is the only thing which is giving you a support. Okay, can we move to the next slide, please? Yudhishthir? Ah, okay. So these are also a couple of gestures which will help you out. There's a very fine line, fine difference between the open arm and the closed fist. Okay, but when you are very confident and very much you have an affirmation for any particular thing, from an open palm you can definitely go into a closed fist. But that affirmation should be there in your life. Yes, sir, I know that this is true. From there, your open palm can go into a closed fist. That's the only part. And once you make this gesture, there is no denying of the fact that yes, you know it. Okay. So you have to make sure that first of all, that your variation of the gestures should go along with what you are saying. Okay. And then the whatever you are picking up from the person or the question which has been asked to you has to be answered in the varying tone. Your tone, your pitch, there has to be like a sinusoidal curve. You know, you should not be like a DC line. You know, it should not be a plain Jane line. Your variation should be there. If you are not varying your pitch, your tone, then it will not grab attention. The major thing in any particular interview is to grab attention. And first of all, and most important thing is speak slow. If you don't speak slow, most of the time you will lose out on your thought process, and also you will lose out in what you want to make the other person understand. Okay? So that's one of the major key point in which you have to tell. And always try to get into a habit of uh, giving answer in a step form, which we call it a KISS principle also. Keep it sweet and simple, or short and simple. Okay, do not elaborate bigger answers, because once you start giving them good answers and a long answers, unless they are asking for it, you are giving them openings from where they can start digging questions on you. Okay, so make it short and simple. Okay. Okay, so interpretation of gestures, since you know what are the gestures which is very good for you, which will help you out to seek attention. Similarly, when you find it out that one of the panelists is closing hands, or squeezing eyelid, or slouching, or back necking, or wobbling feet, that means he's not paying attention to you. Okay, then what will you do? You will think that if he's not paying attention, maybe he's not listening to me, maybe he will not select me, you know. So then you have to make sure that you start making, let's say there are three people, four people, and you have a question in which you may be taking around 2 minutes of time. So 30 seconds of time for each eye contact you take. When you seeing that other person is not paying attention to you, you devote your more span of your eye contact or your body attention towards that person. Start mirroring, start trying to talk to him and show his your gestures towards him, and he will definitely start responding to you. He cannot be quiet, or maybe he will definitely, he's not going to close you out. But from there, you have to pull him back to what you are saying. And that can only be done when you understand how they are doing it. They may not, you cannot read the mind of the person who is there in the panel, but their body, definitely you can read it. And once you read it, you will find it out. Then definitely you can say, sir, in my opinion, this is the case. And I think, sir, when you say, and I think, sir, or I think, ma'am, and you point your hand, open up palm towards that person, he will definitely see, oh, okay, okay, oh, yes, what you're saying. He cannot neglect you at that moment of time. Okay. So check out at the time when you are giving answers that how the other person is sitting on the chair on the other side of the table. Is he paying attention to you? Is he not paying attention to you? If he is not paying attention to you, you bring his attention back to you. Okay. And that can only happen when you will understand that who's the person who is not paying attention. Okay. And that can then, in that particular case, the body language will help you out. Can we move to the other slide, please? You this it? Okay. Okay, some terrible mistake what we make in the body language. I will not take much of your time. Okay, we'll just go to the next slide. This is a complete low no when you are sitting, whether you're sitting in an interview panel or you're sitting in a class or you're sitting with your friends or whatever. This will give a very bad impression as such, what I think so. Maybe you can go to the next slide, Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir. Okay, thank you. So can you see slouching, crossing legs and arms? If you don't ever sit like this, the way the uh, young lady is sitting on the chair, okay, when you are facing an interview panel, of course, that will not give a good impression. But then again, don't spread your legs too far wide. Also, if you are sitting on a chair, it should be like shoulder width apart. That is more than sufficient. But you should not be slouching and you're like sitting and you're like opening arms, posing for a Shah Rukh Khan pose or something like that. It is also not recommended. Okay, it has to be subtle, gentle, and of course, which is just make your legs that much apart so that it should be in a proportion which is, let's say the chair, the legs of the chair. If your legs are touching and going parallel, running parallel to the legs of the chair, that is more than sufficient for you to open up, and that will help you out. It will give you confidence, it will give you a support, it will make you, it will cut down your nervousness. Try at home.
Yep.
If you're sitting on a chair and if you're not having a arm rest and you're just trying to take a support from your leg, it will definitely give you a support. Okay, can you move to the next slide, please?
Yeah, just quickly checking, Kumar. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think are you guys going good? People are interactive, raising their question by using raise hand and through chat.
I don't think so. I think they are just busy watching the slide. Maybe I'll
Acha.
just finish it up and then we'll see what they, if they have
Yeah,
question or
नहीं
they
नहीं,
have.
just to make it quick because it's already the time. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
हमारे पास
All
अगले
good.
15 मिनट
All good.
हैं, 15-20 मिनट हैं, where
Hmm.
Kumar can extend.
हाँ.
Yes,
Guys, yeah,
Kumar.
so मैं quickly एक बात बता दूं. If you have to raise a question, आप अपना raise hand कर सकते हैं. Dr. Yudhishthir, Kumar can take that question in between as well, और आप अपना question chat में भी डाल सकते हैं. Please make most out of this opportunity. That is my humble request. Over to you, Kumar. Sorry.
Thank you, Shivam. Okay, I'll just quickly complete the no-no part and then we can move to a question if you want. Fidgeting, rubbing neck, a complete no-no. Don't, if you have a ring in your finger, don't start fidgeting with that particular ring while you are facing an interview. Okay, that's not a good idea. Can we move to the next slide, Yudhishthir? No eye contact, biting nails. I have already told you. This is a complete no-no for any particular discussion on any particular topic at any level. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Distraction, rolling eyes. You know, this is also, it's evident what I'm trying to tell you, that if you are getting distracted, it will not help you out. While one person is asking question to you and then you are thinking somewhere else and your eyes are pointing in other direction, which this is not going to help you out. Maybe we can go to the next slide. Yudhishthir. Okay, there is a very small difference between smirk, smile, laugh, and showing teeth. Okay, I'll just concentrate on the part which is related to the interview. You have to just smile a little bit. Little bit of teeth is okay. Grinning is not good. Okay, not smiling always also not very healthy. But yeah, just smile, but don't smirk also. Okay, and then the last, never freeze yourself. If you freeze yourself on a particular panel or anywhere, then you're, like, you will not be termed as a living creature, and then it is a problem. Okay, so whenever you are facing an interview or wherever you are, be a little lively. When you are lively, people will seek attention of you, and then it will be easy for them to conduct and understand you. Okay, so that's a little part of the interview part which I have told you. And apart from that, which is related to the body language, which you can use it during your interview sessions also. Any questions anyone want to know, want to ask, or it's all good? We can wrap it up. No, no. Anyone want to know anything? Anyone from the aviation?
Yes, anyone having any doubt? And then we will move towards the next interview session that in which we will have an interactive
आपको
session and
किसी
few of my experiences which I will share to you.
किसी को कुछ पूछना है?
If you have any doubt, you have 2 minutes. If you have any question, please raise your hand and we can discuss.
अच्छा, कोई नहीं. So it seems everybody
Okay.
is happy.
So,
Okay.
but I would like to encourage everyone that even if you do not have any question, you please interact with us. It will give a new energy level to our setup, to our discussion
Sir,
level.
excuse me, one question.
It would be better if you can
हाँ
turn on.
सचिन.
Yes, sir. One question from Mr. Amit Jha.
Yes, sir.
Very good evening, sir. How can we say no in the term of body language?
How depends what kind of no you want to say. You know, what kind of, if somebody is asking a question you don't want to listen, then definitely have you seen a boxer fighting a fight? He always raises his guards. Either he puts his hand, he blocks it. You know, so blocking is always done by closing your hands. This is a particular gesture. Closing your legs. You know, but at certain times you have to say no, particularly to the person. So it all depends where you want to say no, how you want to say no. If you really want to, body language is an indirect message which is being transmitted to your brain, to the other person's brain. So if you want to say no in an interview panel, I don't think it's a good idea to say no there. But at certain times you have to say no, then you have to find a way in terms of words. But if a person is asking you a question, okay, and if you do not want to answer a particular question, then you have to politely put that question down. And then from there onwards, you can hold your, cross your hands, cross your legs to say that, yes, I don't want to interact with you. Body language will give you an option that to close that person. But to say no, it's more like a diplomatic way to whom you want to say no. Where a person who is senior to you, maybe your teachers or maybe your a manager, you may not be able to say direct no. So you have to find a way out, to say no. But a person who is junior to you can say directly, no, boss, I can't do this. So at certain time in life, you have to put hard stop to anything. Then you have to definitely say no, whether the person is senior or a junior or whosoever is there, a personal life or a professional life. So it all depends at what stage and how you want to say no to whom. But body language will make you sure that you shut down that person. when you cross your legs, cross your arms, and whenever he is speaking, you just squint your eyes like this, and then just say that I'm not interested. That will be shown with the help of body language. But saying no, it all depends upon person to person and what is the context of the interaction. Nikita Ray, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Sir, I've got a question.
Yes, please.
I have got a very neutral face, which often comes out to be quite arrogant.
Okay.
It is very subconscious. I do not want to come
Can we
across
see
like
your face?
that. Sure, sir. Yeah.
Yes,
Am I
Nikita.
visible?
Good evening. Boliye.
Okay, good evening, sir. So I have to I have to put efforts to smile continuously if I'm talking to someone.
Okay.
So they do not think of me as arrogant or rude. But because of that, subconsciously thinking that I have to smile all the time, I often, my thoughts often get clouded. So
Mhm.
what can I do for that?
Okay. So the best thing is to practice. Okay.
Right.
Smile. If you see the last to last slide, I've said that there's a very fine difference between smirk, smile, grinning, and laughter.
Right.
Okay. So you don't have to be grinning always. You don't have to show teeth. There are certain people always, like this. They're always like this. So you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be, always be. Some people have a very plain face. It's okay. If you cannot smile, always try to have a variation of pitch in your words. Okay.
All
So
right.
let's say if
Yeah.
I have to ask you a question, you said good evening, sir. I said good evening, Nikita. Is there a difference in between me and you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you start training your body for that, it will automatically come.
Hmm.
Okay. So main
Yeah.
thing is your interest in that particular area. You don't have to cloud because your what you're saying is correct. When you start pushing your mind to a particular thought process, the other thing gets clouded. It's very true.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start think of it regularly, whether you are in a shower, you are brushing your teeth. That if you're going in in your library or you're walking down the path of your college or wherever you're going, if you find someone, just greet them with some excitement,
Okay.
little bit of excitement in your
Okay.
words. If you see, if, I don't know whether you have seen that particular part of the session where I was telling you about what you say and how you say in body language. So if your body language is very plain and simple, only face does not constitute of a body language.
Right.
Okay. So you
Yes,
first
sir.
start varying your
Okay.
tone and tenor. You know,
Okay.
if you
Yeah.
start varying your tone and tenor, I'm telling you, rest of the problems will get solved.
Okay.
The
Thank you, sir.
it's not required necessary that you have to be a plain Jane simple. It's good. Okay, but
Okay. Yes, sir.
concentrate on the how you are speaking. Then definitely, and it comes with a small changes which you start doing it right from the time you get up from your bed to the time you sleep, and you start
Okay.
interacting with everyone on that particular lines. Okay,
Right.
that
Yeah.
will help.
Thank you, sir.
You're
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
All right. All right.
Anyone else?
So, any more question
Tushar
on
Kushwaha
body language?
wants to ask something, I think. तुषार,
गुड इवनिंग सर।
गुड इवनिंग तुषार, कैसे हो आप?
सर अच्छे हैं सर। सर आप
बोलिए
कैसे
जी।
हो?
बस बढ़िया। कैसे हम आपकी मदद कर सकते हैं?
सर माय क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट इन द रिक्रूटमेंट प्रोसेस, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स और टेक्निकल स्किल्स?
सॉफ्ट स्किल और टेक्निकल स्किल। टेक्निकल
व्हाट्स
स्किल
मोर
इज
इम्पोर्टेंट?
आई थिंक इट इज 60% तो टेक्निकल होना चाहिए बॉस। अगर आप इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हो, आपको
यस
अपनी
सर।
कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी ही नहीं पता है, तो बाकी चीजें कितनी हेल्प करेंगी? आई थिंक इट गोज फॉर 70% इन माय ओपिनियन। युधिष्ठिर, व्हाट यू सजेस्ट?
Yes, yes. It is, in fact, more than 60%. Actually, there is one very famous quote people generally I have seen somewhere, and it is very famous quote that in overall in your life professional success, the only technical contribution is only 15%. This is one of the very famous quote. But let me tell you, this is probably true for overall life situation. This is not true for the interview situation. In interview situation, if you are facing interview, you must be good in your technical section. So you must prepare whatever what kind of interview you are facing. Suppose it's if I'm saying about UPPSC kind of interview, your technical skills must be good. They will ask very specifically. They will not move out of the technical. Yes, there are the people who in the panel. Actually, there are 5 people. One is especially for your technical background. One person is for your general overall. That is the basically chairman. He deals with all the rest of the overall, and he just sees the thing. Then one person is for your gesture observation. One person is for your general knowledge situation, testing person people. So this is overall. So but technical person's feedback is very, very important. So therefore, in this UPSC kind of situation, if you are going, then your technical knowledge helps you a
Tushar,
lot.
can I add?
One thing,
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Sorry. You just complete.
Tushar, anything else you wanted to know?
No, sir.
तुषार मैं एक बात बोलूं एक चीज ऐड करना चाहता हूं मैं
Yes, sir.
it will help you out there are 2 famous scientists you must be knowing Tesla and Thomas Alva Edison
Yes, sir.
उनके बारे में आप समझो ऐसा नहीं कि टेस्ला वाज मोर टेक्निकली स्ट्रांग देन थॉमस अल्वा एडिसन डू यू एग्री
What, sir?
more or less Tesla and Edison both were technically strong
Yes, sir.
बट जी जो है एडिसन की देन है टेस्ला की नहीं
Yes, sir.
तो प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में व्हाट युधिष्ठिर वाज सेइंग वाज करेक्ट दैट 15% ही टेक्निकल नॉलेज चाहिए बाकी आपको 85% अदर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स चाहिए होते हैं टू compete and excel but that comes later
Yes, sir.
अभी जब आप इंटरव्यू पैनल में बैठे हो ना तो ये इसका अपोजिट हो जाता है
Yes, sir. Yes.
75-85% आपको टेक्निकल नॉलेज चाहिए मैं तो 70% बोल रहा था ही इज टेलिंग अबाउट बिकॉज ही हैज कंडक्टेड अ लॉट ऑफ इंटरव्यू इन द यूपीएससी एंड ऑल सो 85% आपका जो कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी अगर आपको वही नहीं पता होगा तो टेक्निकल सॉफ्ट स्किल्स वगैरह तो बाद में आते हैं बट या दैट्स हाउ द लाइफ वर्क्स स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द इंटरव्यू पार्ट
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
For our listener, I would like to add one more thing. Whenever you are going somewhere for the interview, the first question people usually ask is, introduce yourself. And now, what should anyone, one individual should say in this introduction part? Let me tell you because I think most of the people, around 70 to 80% people does not know what to say in this introduction because they think that my overall CV is in his hand. Let me tell you, most of the situation when we are doing interview in UPPSC, if any candidate comes before us, his CV comes to everyone hand. So he will see each and everything in what is about you, what is your technical background, what is your percentage of marks, what kind of the examination you have, what is your marks in examination you have scored. Everything is there. In fact, your personal background, what your father does, where from your schooling done, everything is there. So, but the people ask for the introduction. Introduction should carry your information about the educational background and a little bit about your family background. A bit. And specifically, let me tell you, it should emphasize your educational background most, and then a little bit about your family background. Family background means father occupation, mother occupation. What are your siblings are doing? So this is this should be the overall that should be consisting for the introduction.
Or just a small mistake what we all do. Sorry,
And
I don't know how many people have their moms as a homemaker. So please do not mention your mother as a housewife. Always say homemaker. That's a very powerful statement when you say that. Okay. I don't know how many people have that kind of background, but please do not say housewife, that my mother is a housewife and she's at home only. What you just said. Sorry, you just said. That's the point which came.
No, it's okay. Yeah, that was very valid point, and it must be if anywhere if you are mentioning about this, then you must mention like that, like as a homemaker. That is a very suitable word, I think, for all the ladies who are making home. Anyway, so any more question about this interview or any specific question you wanted to know about anyone?
Okay, looks like anybody wants the knowledge for aviation? Somebody was asking for some aviation questions. Is there anyone? Looks like he was already bored and left. Anyways, so
Someone has asked your journey from this engineering
Yeah,
to
so I was just
aviation.
wondering
Someone
who was
had
that
asked,
person.
but probably he is not present
I think
right now.
वो छोड़ के चले जा चुके हैं या शायद join नहीं कर पाए or something. Anyways, ठीक है. If
So, anyone, if any more question, please give us a feedback so that we can discuss on the same line. We can align our answers based on your question. That will be better.
looks like most of the people are satisfied with our presentation and the questions which or answers what we have given. Sachin,
Either
Yes.
they are very satisfied or they are not.
Maybe.
they are both.
Yes.
Okay, sir,
Anyways,
can I
so
ask
I think we have also-
one question?
please,
So, what is
Sachin.
the future of the core branches, such as mechanical, electrical, civil? Most of the students, they have got it the admission in the IT and CS. Everywhere they talk about the IT and CS. What is the future of CS? Any mechanical, civil,
Okay.
or electrical?
Let me tell you about this. Actually, this is very interesting topic. Actually, if we will see why this is happening in India, most of the jobs are in the field of CS and IT, while the core branches are suffering. So the reason behind, actually, the government has given that portion very much enhancement in the way back around 10 to 15 years back, when the policies, actually in 1991, India and China both were at the same platform. But China from that place chooses the manufacturing, but they also did a little bit for the software also. But India very chooses the software. So that was the reason the companies developed on that time, and the companies who got enhancement and support from the government, that most of the companies are of CSIT. So manufacturing basically suffered. If you will go by the GDP, you will see very carefully, India is basically lagging in the field of manufacturing. So, but now the government, nowadays, if you will see the current scenario, the government had changed its stance. And now, therefore, also the government of India is also focusing a lot on the manufacturing sector. So it may be that this core branches would suffer next 3 to 4 years. It may be, but after that, the future is going to come with the core branches, because India is focusing a lot over the manufacturing due to the one of the major reason is with the competition, because of the competition coming from the China. So this is overall information from my side.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. But
Yes,
I
sir.
have seen in the most of the industries in the India, वो China से माल मंगाया, and there they have assembled all the component and tag their brand and उसको.
Sir,
So how
yes,
we increase our basically.
this was happening, and probably it will. This was happening, and probably it will keep on happening from next 2-3 years further. It is not going to stop immediately. But the government, the reason behind, let me tell you, let me go by the very one. Right now, there is one energy storage, and the battery manufacturing. We do not have any proper company. While in the overall world, whatever the number of batteries are there, 51% of the batteries are 51% of the overall world level batteries are manufactured in China. So it means basically China is basically manufacturing it, but now the government of India has been given a lot of subsidy to for this manufacturing of the batteries. And in India, people are now setting up. I know 2, 3 very good companies who are setting up in this one, and they're looking for the people in this field. So I'm sure in the next 3 to 4 years, after 3 to 4 years, we have very good future for these technical branches, for the core branches. And it does not mean that CS and IT is going to be abolished or going to vanish here, but whatever the situation is right now with the core branches, it will not remain as.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, Sachin ji.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, our students in the core branches, they are very scared. What is our future?
So that is actually, if they are very much scared, then first thing I will say, at the time of admission, why did they choose this one? The first one is, it means at the time of selecting the branch, they were not aware. But anyway, if they are here, it may be in the private sector, there may be the depth of this kind of the job in the core, but they can go for the government jobs. Like in civil engineering, civil engineering, if you will see very carefully, the people are very much scared of those who are doing BTech in civil engineering. But there are a lot of job in the government sectors in the field of civil engineering. Even the government is looking for the people, but they are not even finding that. So this kind of situation is there over in civil engineering. As far as electrical is concerned, in electrical engineering also the same situation is there. But the problem is the government sector has very less number of jobs as compared to if we are looking for the private sector. But one thing, those who are very scared for this one, I will simply suggest that if you have interest in computer science and IT. One more thing, basically, most of the students who are switching, who are basically planning to switch from their core branches to the CS or IT sector, they think of that everything is coding. Means if they do not know the coding, they cannot switch, or they will find a lot of difficulty in switching from core branches to the CSIT. But the situation is not like that. In software industry, coder is not everything. Coding is not everything. There are many other jobs also where the coding is not required. So they should look for those kind of situation also. Those kind of the jobs also.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you,
Sachin.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I think everybody is happy, and most of the people whose questions were there is answered. So can we close the session now? Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Binky ma'am, in case if you want to say something.
Yeah, thank you. I just saw that lots of questions were there. Students, though they were hesitant of asking the questions, but still Sachin sir raised so many things from their point of view also. So it was quite an interactive session, and many things related to body language and all which you have projected. Like the one girl asked that how to say no. So these are the things which many times doesn't click to the mind of the students, not even many times to us also we missed out, but it just revive the entire things and refreshes the thing. So it's really nice session, and I'm thankful to Gaurav and Yudhishthir, both of you. So always being with us, and they are always ready to give something to the institute, to the students. And I request all the students that please, they all are very, very helpful and very, very socialized, and you can connect to them anytime for any kind of help, and definitely you will get something from them. So thank you with this. Yeah,
Yes,
please.
I mean, that's what I was also saying, that in case if you people have any doubt or you want to interact on any particular topic of the body language, or you want to know anything regarding that the way things are being performed in the UPSC or the general interview sessions, then you can definitely contact Yudhishthir Pandey or me. We will be happy to help you all anytime, anywhere. We will be there. Okay.
And you can also have our we have over the alumni association, we have our email IDs also displayed over there. You can write if you are not comfortable or you are not finding our mobile
Yeah.
numbers, you can email us. We will definitely respond to
Yeah,
those
at certain
emails
times
also.
it happens that people are not very comfortable in asking questions or saying anything in the group. So you have our contact. You can take it from Vicky ma'am, Nishant sir, or whosoever is there in the or Mr. Or Sachin sir,
Or
or over
over
the
the
web, and
website
you
we
can
have
contact
also.
us, and we will be very happy to help you all anytime. Okay. Okay, sir. Then thank you so much, everyone. We shall call this
Sure.
session now to an end. Okay. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Let's
Thank you,
call off.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Good day. Take care of your
Thank you
health.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.